Nuclear energy can supercharge the global clean energy transition. Recently, there has been a lot of media coverage on the topic of energy production. Reducing energy from oil and coal and the associated greenhouse gas emissions raises questions. How do we want to solve this deficit in energy production? Can this source be replaced by a more environmentally friendly method? This video is about the upcoming energy revolution, what changes it will bring, and how we as investors can benefit from it. Greetings everyone and welcome back to Stock Miner. So let's look at the whole picture first. Global energy production and the way it is produced. The three largest sources are oil, natural gas, and coal. Together they account for almost 80%. Nuclear energy is represented by just under 10%, and our green energy solutions account for only another 10%. Oh, and by the way, solar energy and wind power goes under other, so less than 3%. Oil, natural gas, and coal have one thing in common in their energy production. They emit carbon dioxide, the most prominent greenhouse gas. CO2 is driving climate change and causing our Earth's surface to slowly warm up. This is a problem of existential proportions for life on Earth. With restrictions and regulations, we want to move away from these energy sources, or at least minimize them, and generate energy using more sustainable methods. But how is that supposed to work? If we assume that we are moving away from CO2 emitting energy sources, which is the plan until 2050 according to the World Economic Forum, we are losing 80% of the global energy production. And this gap has to be filled, preferably with green energy, or at least a source that doesn't produce greenhouse gases. Great progress is being made in the field of solar and wind energy and hydropower, but by no stretch of the imagination will this be enough for 80%. A very controversial energy source is uranium. Uranium is a radioactive element and is an energetic wonder. It can release vast amounts of energy, the best example being the atomic bomb. In 2007, the nuclear energy sector was booming and was even promoted to produce energy for the world. Under the current circumstances, a return of this technology is a very good idea, as it is the only one that can make up for this energy deficit. In this picture, you can see a pellet of processed uranium. It's as big as a pea and weighing about 10 grams. This amount of uranium has an energy output of 1 ton of coal or 3 barrels of oil. That's 320 liters of oil. Nuclear energy is the only known and usable energy source that can supply more than the world's energy needs. Another pro is its emissions, no CO2 and no greenhouse effect. If you have ever seen a nuclear power plant and always wondered what the steam from those huge shafts is, it's water vapor. A nuclear reactor is cooled with water. Most of the time nuclear power plants are located close to bodies of water so that they can feed fresh and cold water directly into them for cooling. Some of it evapors, and that's what you see rising into the sky. Okay, that all sounds well and good, but why has nuclear power never returned? In fact, why have a number of nuclear power plants been shut down in the recent years? Nuclear power also has a dark side. Despite being extremely efficient and greenhouse gas friendly, it's not that environmentally friendly. A nuclear power plant produces radioactive waste. Radioactivity is deadly to humans. Precisely because uranium has stored such an enormous amount of energy, its emissions are too strong for organic matter. Radioactivity cannot be decomposed, nor can the process of radioactive decay be accelerated, stopped, or somehow neutralized. It is therefore stored in deposits. Of course, this waste contaminates surrounding areas and makes them uninhabitable. So for how long do you think you have to leave it there until the radiation dose is no longer lethal? It's 200,000 years. This fact is a big problem and a reason for many doubts. So we are facing a conflict here. Global warming, radiation, energy deficit. The key is exactly in the middle of all of these, in the balance. CO2 emissions must be minimized. We humans have definitely become more sensitive about our energy consumption, and nuclear energy is being ramped up to cover the energy generation deficit. Worldwide, 55 nuclear power plants are under construction, a clear trend in favor of uranium. In addition, nuclear power has once again won the support of governments in addressing the climate crisis. So let me conclude. I see nuclear energy as an optimal transitional solution to a greener and more environmentally friendly energy production. We are currently not able to cover our energy needs with wind, solar, or hydropower. However, we need to drastically reduce our CO2 emissions. Governments are increasingly offering incentives and support for nuclear power development, making it an attractive investment opportunity. Alright, you've heard the buzz about nuclear energy, but what's in it for investors? Let's dive into the potential benefits and risks. In the recent years, the price of uranium and the demand for it have fallen sharply. Share prices also reflect this economic downturn. In view of the current situation, there is now a good buying opportunity. We are talking about a sector trend here, so the stock is basically irrelevant. Nevertheless, I will introduce you to 3 stocks in which I see great potential. Number 1. Kazatomprom, the largest company in the nuclear industry with 40% market share, a safe haven for investors who want to play it easy. Second, Western Uranium, a small player in the sector. However, the management includes very experienced people, among others the founder of Energy Fuels, also an energy company. But due to the small market volume of about $50 million, a rather volatile and risky stock. Last but not least, Peninsula Energy. This company has a long history and is well positioned for the future with long-term contracts. The stock is extremely risky, however, and currently stands at less than 10 cents a share. I have bought 16,000 shares. I tremble from time to time with strong price fluctuations, but I'm confident for the future. The link to these companies' websites is in the description. Okay, that's it for today. Please let me know what you invest in and what you think about the nuclear energy. I hope to see you next time, and thanks for tuning in. Bye bye.